Well, welcome to our latest video, and in this one we're going to have a follow-up to the earlier video we had about pens. That's because I found some new pens. In the meantime, I'm also using this video as a bit of a test, so bear with me, and if things go wrong, I'm sorry. Let's get on with it. Well, here are the two pens I found. They're both paint markers. Now, two different makes. This one says Zeyar, and I got that off eBay. This is a Pebeo Vitria 161. Now this is quite old. It doesn't seem to be working brilliantly, but both are quite the same. And the technique is sometimes you have to press down, and you see it flows out with the ink or paint. So this one has gone a bit faded, and I admit this one is at least 7-8 years old, but this pen I bought recently off eBay. Now don't worry if you make a mistake. All you need to do is get something sharp. I've got a pin here, but I'm using the wrong end, and you can just scratch off, he says, any mistakes you make, like that. And I can see a couple of bits on my test piece here. There we go. And just get rid of the mistakes like that. Now I've set up this test piece. We've got 4 squares down here. They've been outlined around the edge, so I can flood fill with paint. And the center is the pens. This one's the new pen, and these ones are the old Vitria pen. I will put details of those on the website. So I'm going to use these 4 squares to test the paints, and I've got 4 different paints. I've got the Pebeo Vitria itself, water-based. I've got a Marabou glass art. There, I've got the normal Vitrail Pebeo transparent paint, and finally I've got the Franco-Bourgeois red paint. So 4 different paints. We're going to test in those 4 separate areas. Now I've got my brush, and I will start with 1 paint in each area, starting with the Pebeo Vitrail. Now I was quite happy, or happy-ish, with 1 or 2 of the pens I used in that last video, but none seem to be perfect, and I'm hoping from my initial tests that these pens will be even better. Actually, let's try a blend on this part. Now I don't want to do the one next to it until that one's dried, so let me do next door but one, and then I'll wait till this one's dried, and then I'll do the other 2. I can see that one is in places coming off. It's okay dropping it on, but it is then moving around. Just try that with the Vitrail. No, I don't seem to be having the same problem. So better with 1 paint than the other. Right, I'm going to leave those to go tacky dry, and then I will try with the other 2 paints. Okay, well I've finished that and let it dry, and as you can see, hopefully in a picture on my side, it's worked quite well. The only one I've got slight issues with is the Marabou. I've also done this other piece, which was on the sheet, just to show you a sort of pattern and how that would look done with the pen. Now the aim we're looking for is this very traditional stained glass look, and as you can see, detail is put in with black, and we're doing exactly the same thing but with a pen rather than the method they used to use. Okay, I've got one more section to try, and this might work, it might not work. I'm going to give it a bit of an experiment. So this is a section, and what I want to see is if I can actually paint to these lines, whether they're raised enough for that. They're not very raised at all. I say this is purely an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work. I think I would like my light box, so I'm not seeing if I'm getting up to the line or not. I think that's working. I'm going to finish it off and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, well, I've finished the experiment. It's turned out okay, but it's not a brilliant standard. You are more brush painting than you are flood filling, and the lines are a bit shoddy. So I don't think I'll be using that technique. I did try a further experiment of using the pen on top of the paint, and that seemed to work very well. So if you want to add a little bit, just a touch to your work at the end, something you've forgotten, etc., these black pens should work well. So here are the pens. I'll put the details on our website so you can get them, or get one for yourself if you like. But main thing to remember is that they are the paint type, hence the rattle when you shake them. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's been a bit strange. I've tried a few different techniques, so thanks for sticking with me. Don't forget you can subscribe to the channel, should be a link down below. You can visit our website, there's a link by the side of that, and at the end you'll see a link to some more of our videos. Happy crafting!